Ladies and gentlemen, filmmakers and moviegoers alike, welcome to this week's episode of Critically Casual. I'm your host, Srekcuf5, and joining me as always is the amazing Dorkydev. What's up, Dev?
Hi.
Hi. Having a good day today so far?
As good as can be.
Understandable. I mean, it's what? It's a Wednesday, hump day, 3 p.m.
Yep.
Yeah. It only get so
Yep.
well. Dude, before we get into this show really fast, I sent out a tweet on Monday that I felt really dumb after, like, hours later after sending it, because I didn't realize what day it was on Monday. Because Monday, for anyone who knows what national holidays are, it was Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Right.
And I was on the internet and I found out that Monday was also Blue Monday, which is supposed to be the most depressing day of the year.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, I'm gonna let him do his thing.
Yeah,
He'll know.
I didn't.
He'll learn.
Yeah,
He'll learn.
I
He'll
had,
learn eventually that
yeah,
he was an idiot for a day.
yeah.
I'll let you do those things from time to time just because it's kind of funny when you do stupid shit.
I do some pretty stupid shit.
I mean, because you're not wrong. It is Blue Monday, but it's also Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until I tried to call my doctor's office, and they're like, "There's no one here right now to schedule your appointment because it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day." I was like, "It is." Did
Did you keep the tweet up? I didn't check.
Yeah, I kept the tweet up.
Good. Learn from your mistakes.
Yeah,
I love you for them. I love you for your stupidity sometimes, my friend.
I'm pretty dumb sometimes.
You are fucking stupid sometimes, and it's brilliant. I want you to know that. Like, I love you for it, because sometimes you do stupid shit like that, where it's completely harmless, okay? Like, there's no ill intent with what you did. I just know you completely spaced what day it is, because you're you. And you saw something, you're like, oh, it's Blue Monday.
That's cool. Let's tweet about that and be edgy and shit. I'm kidding. No. It was
hilarious.
Yes.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I did forget to do some homework this weekend, I will fully admit. So we're gonna do the list. Downside to it, I did forget to watch Beauty and the Beast and Jungle Book.
Okay.
So we can leave those off the list until I catch up.
We can do that for now, I think.
Okay, cool. That's on me, and I
How
apologize.
dare you not do your homework? Gosh.
I completely forgot that was something that I needed to do. Please remind me to do that this weekend.
Okay, I will. Next time I see you having a 10-hour stream, I'll be like, you know what you could have done for 4 of those hours?
Yeah, I know, but fuck off. That's more enjoyable. No, that's not even 4 hours. It's more than 4 hours. Those two are probably each over 2 hours, right?
With modern Disney, yeah, they're probably like 2.5 hours long.
What, because Cruella was 2 hours and 14 minutes?
That was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be.
It felt, I paused halfway through and went, fuck, we're halfway?
I did the same thing. I was like, okay, I'm going to pause this here, take a little bit of a break, and I'll come back reinvigorated, because what, I've got like half an hour. Oh, I have an hour and like some odd minutes left. Oh, geez.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
So, before we get too much into this, let's start talking about what we're talking about this week. Which, this week I've dubbed the show 101 Remakes. Aren't I so clever?
That was pretty good.
Thank you. Oh, pat myself on the back. We're good. All right. So, 101 Dalmatians, 102 Dalmatians, and then we're talking about Cruella. And I had to specifically for 101 Dalmatians put in the date, because there are 2 versions of 101 Dalmatians. So, fun times.
Yep.
But there isn't a sequel to 101 Dalmatians, the animation, called 102 Dalmatians. There is, however,
it's just
it's 101 Dalmatians number 2.
Number 2.
I was like, oh, geez.
Spot's Adventure, right?
Something like that,
Spot's
yeah.
Legend in London Adventure or some shit.
No, Monster, I'm not going to say you're right, but I will say thank you for the subscription. Thanks for the tier 1 sub. But Anything
I mean,
else?
kind of, but at the same time, I've been more productive stream wise, so fuck it.
Yeah, you've had some great streams, and you seem to be a lot more motivated, and your numbers are rising. One day I walked in there and you had like 20 viewers. I was like, damn, look at our little boy. He's growing up so fast.
Having fun with it, all right, man.
Yeah.
Like I can't
Rick's
help
becoming
it.
a man.
Oh god, I have the Wikipedia up for some of the live actions that we've done, right?
Mhm.
There's one really old one that we didn't do. Rubyard Kirpling's The Jungle Book, which maybe we can do at some point from 67.
Long time ago. Maybe, yeah.
Oh no, it's from 94 actually. Sorry.
A live action Jungle Book made in 94?
Yep. So we'll add that to the list.
I've got to look this up. Jungle Book. I was about to say 67 was the animation.
Yep. 94 is Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book.
Oh, I see.
So we can add that to the list too, whenever we get to review that.
I mean, hang on. Let me see one other thing. Jungle. Let's see, because that version, the one that came out in 94, has a 6.1. Okay, no. I was about to say, what if it has a higher review on IMDb, the older version? I'd feel real bad.
I saw this. So there's an upcoming section to this. Do you want the list? The things that we can look forward to, Steven, on this list eventually.
Of live action remakes, or?
Yes. Of live action Disney's based off of previous properties. Because we are going to include the Pirates to this eventually, because we're including Jungle Cruise and Haunted Mansion on this list. Because they're previous Disney properties via rides that got turned into movies. So I'll start with Disney Plus ones. Okay. The only one with a release date is Pinocchio, which will release this year. The rest are TBAs. Peter Pan and Wendy, The Sword in the Stone, Robin Hood, Lilo and Stitch, and an untitled Prince Anders film, which might be Aladdin.
Another Aladdin, huh? Aladdin
maybe
2.
A sequel to it. Yeah, maybe Aladdin 2. Because there's also some of these also on the theatrical films release, which we don't have any this year. From the looks of it,
I guess.
Outside of the Disney Plus Pinocchio, which we got The Little Mermaid coming out next year, May 26th. And then I didn't know about some of these, but here we go. We have the untitled The Jungle Book sequel, the untitled The Lion King follow-up film, which I am not looking forward to that. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, untitled Aladdin sequel, Hunchback, Bambi, Hercules, untitled Cruella sequel, and Tink.
What was that last one? Tink?
For Tinkerbell.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So that's what we can look forward to, Steven.
Who needs original Disney videos? Let's just remake everything and burn it to the...
Yep. Box office performance wise, they also have that list too.
Numbers, buttons by...
Let's see. The best performer out of all of the ones that have released theatrically, by the way, The Lion King with 500,000. Beauty and the Beast behind that, Jungle Book, Aladdin, Alice in Wonderland, Maleficent, Cinderella, 101 Dalmatians, Dumbo, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, Christopher Robin, Cruella, Alice Through the Looking Glass, 102 Dalmatians, The Jungle Book, and Mulan.
Have you started filling out all the stuff in the list and then...
Gonna start do that while we talk. I'm gonna make a rough sketch for the list, and we can go from there.
Sure, fine. Okay, so while you're doing that, are we ready to actually start talking about 101 Dalmatians?
I'm ready to talk about 101 Dalmatians.
Okay, so I will press the button. We're now in talking about 101 Dalmatians time. Wow, we're so good at this.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And with this one, it is a rated G movie, which would mean it's a kids movie for sure. So this one's automatically going to get a kids point.
Yes.
You got to keep that in mind.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, 101 Dalmatians was released on November 27th of 1996. Shortly after my brother's birthday. Pretty cool. The budget was $75 million and it made a gross or an opening weekend of 33 and gross US of 136 million, worldwide 320 million.
So definitely made its money back.
Oh yeah, easy.
Mm.
This movie's just kind of fun. I don't really see it as anything harmful or anything, you know what I mean? Like,
there's definitely, when I watched this movie again, I was surprised on how much of it was no dialogue, because it's just a bunch of dogs barking.
Yep.
Which I was totally fine with. I also didn't mind like the computer edits to the dogs when they're like, "Oh, I'm surprised," or something like that.
You know, it was 96. Like they didn't do bad with it. I genuinely I found this one charming as it should be, and like it's a fairly faithful adaptation to the original source material. And it's kind of cool to see a bunch of dogs that do stunts and shit like that.
Absolutely.
And on top of that, like there's only really one disgusting CGI scene in this movie. And it's a thing that would have been impossible to do. So I excuse it. And it's the pipe.
There's one person too in this movie that I absolutely have to give like all the credit to why this movie came out as good as it did. And it's 100% Glenn Close.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I love Glenn Close in all of these movies. I'll tell you that now. Like, she made these movies 100%, and I love her. It is so fun to watch these movies again, because I grew up watching these movies nonstop.
Oh, same.
I will tell you
honest. On the next one, there was a moment where something sparked in my brain, and I went, "Oh, I'm back!" And I will tell you the exact moment it happened when we get there. On this one, it was like, oh wow, dude, I forgot how kind of charming this is and how good Glenn Close is in this fucking role. Like, let me tell you, she is perfect. She is perfect as Cruella. There's no two ways about it.
And then I loved some of the other people who were in this movie too, like freaking Arthur Weasley and House. They were in this movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, they were great.
Yeah, it was fun to see those guys in this movie. Kind of, I don't know if these were like their first or their earlier movie appearances or whatnot, but still.
I know that Hugh Laurie was all in I think what is it? Blackadder.
Okay.
I think that would have been before this.
Let's
let my dad watch.
And then looking at the other guys,
Mark Williams.
Yeah. He's been in a few movies before this too, so.
Yeah.
Still cool though. One of the earlier films. And it was just funny. This movie 100% was Lady and the Tramp meets Home Alone. Like, it's slapstick humor, it's funny, it's a bunch of pets and dogs, it's Glenn Close being amazing. Yeah. It's what, an hour and 45 minutes long?
Yes.
Hour and 40.
Both this and the next one are an hour and 44. And they don't feel long at all. This one does not feel like it's dragging at all. It just kind of keeps going. You know what I mean? Like, it keeps a good pace and stuff like that. And it does a surprisingly good job for minimal lines delivery for like dogs acting and like the dogs acting well. So,
yeah. I mean, there's a couple of things. I mean, the movie has to movie, of course. So there's random stuff that happens. Like, I don't know, we just met and we're getting married. But
yeah, I mean, that was weird. I remember that happening and being like, okay, that's a little rushed, guys. But I mean,
our dogs love each other, so we obviously love each other too.
if you guys feel strongly about it, okay, but just please understand that like the rate of divorce in that for the marriage that quickly.
Oh, you're so dumb. I love it.
What do you want from me? I mean, it's honest. Um, but
That's
yeah, like it's interesting.
definitely. I like when I think of this movie right now, after having rewatched it, my only complaint, honestly, would be kind of towards the later third of the movie, where to me it does feel a little bit drawn out when it's just the dogs talking or barking at each other. But the difference with that is at least, sorry, my eyes are itching. Um, at least the difference with that kind of thing is with the dogs in this movie, each scene was just as long as it needed to be. Nothing felt too long. All the stuff was like something you think like, yeah, I think that needs to be in here. Um,
Yeah.
Nothing felt out of place or rushed or anything like that. It was just a good time.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like it felt very well done, honestly. Like I forgot how well this kind of holds up. Like it does a good job of like just kind of being a good movie overall. So like congrats on that movie. I can't say that about every movie we've watched from the past, and I can't say that about every movie that we've reviewed recently.
Mm. It's all though. I do have to say, like, I'm reading some of the cast list here, and like Cruella Deville, yes, we know her. Roger, we know him. Anita, we know
Yep.
her. The nanny, we know her. And then
Yep.
Jasper and Horace, we know them
Yep.
because they're all
And
Skinner.
Skinner
Yeah, like we
and Alonzo.
Alonzo, I only really remember him because the next movie. But
True. Yeah, but he's in this, so
yeah,
you
but he's
know.
in this movie. But then there's all these other names. Like I don't remember Frederick. I don't remember Herbert. I don't remember Alan.
Oh God, no, you're not gonna remember all of those characters at all. They're just there.
I'm assuming they're people who also worked for Cruella.
Maybe, dude, I couldn't tell you.
Throwing things around now. Yeah, I have no idea. But no, there's not really anything else that I can think of that I have to talk about with this movie.
That's fair. It's one that like I think just kind of surprisingly holds up for being from 96, and it kind of it's a little minimalist um in its approach to things in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Um
I just remembered. I watched this movie with my dad in the other room because I was just doing my own business, and he like walks in, and it's the scene right where Cruella is dropped by the goats or whatever, and she falls into the molasses. And I knew what it was, so I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun." And she falls in, and my dad's like, "Oh, what the shit is that?" Especially when she gets up and there's like film covering her mouth that you could obviously tell was not supposed to be there.
yeah, there was that moment where her face like is covered in it.
Yeah, it's just like so thick that it's making a mask, and obviously she can't breathe, but whatever. They still use that segment in the movie. And I was like, "Don't worry, it's molasses." He's like, "Oh, thank God! I thought it was shit." And then I was like, "Don't worry, we'll get there." And then she falls into the pig pen. Like he's like, "Okay, now I see what you're talking about."
Yeah.
Just great slapstick, good comedy.
Yeah, it's good.
So, I guess ultimately we have nothing else to say. Let me get you your popcorn kernels.
All right. I think I'm gonna give this a with kid point. It probably ends up actually at like an 8.5.
Oh, really?
I was just gonna give it a 7.5 or a 7. You know, it's not bad. It's not harmless, or it's harmless. You know, it does what it needs to do. So I think I'll give it an 8.
Okay. With me, with the kid point, it's coming out to 7.
You are just so negative.
I'm sure.
You're just so negative.
The worst. I'm awful. I know. Okay. And since I'm the worst. Yeah. Oh my god. Let's move on here. Let's get into our second movie here, which is 102 Dalmatians. Who'da thunk it?
Dog.
That was the best part of this whole movie for me.
Okay, so this released November 22nd of 2000 with a budget of 85. It made opening weekend 19, gross US 66, and worldwide 183. So not 3 times the budget, so maybe didn't make its money back, but whatever. Dude, as soon as I heard when the Disney logo popped up and I just heard diggy dog, I snapped back so fast to being a child. Like my brain went, I know this so well.
Mhm.
Wait a second, what? Diggy dog. What is happening? What is happening? diggy dog. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I got shot back the moment this movie started, back to being a kid and seeing this. Like, it was so quick how I like regressed and just enjoyed this movie. I'm
I
not gonna
kind of
lie, I
agree with
love
you.
this.
Like,
Like, this hit so many of my nostalgia buttons growing, like, from being a kid. And this movie's surprising. Like, I'm just gonna say, as our potential Marvel connection, depending on how the multiverse works, Ian Grifford is way too fucking charming. Like, what is it about him? He is so fucking charming in this.
he's such a nice guy, and his face is so handsome.
He's just, what the fuck? I
And
was like, man,
he's a dog napper.
who dogged out dogs from an evil lab? How can you not love him?
Everybody gets a second chance at second chance.
He's just,
It's great.
He's good at this. Holy shit.
It's kind of funny though, because I think of this movie the same way, where I'm like, wow, I love this movie. It's so nostalgic. It's so fun to me. But oh, I'm such a critic now, because I watch this movie. I'm like, this is so much fun. Wow, this is dumb.
Oh, it's dumb as shit. But that is part of its fucking charm. Like, straight up. that is to this movie's benefit.
And also, I think I don't want to step on your toes like I did last week, but you already mentioned the Thing and you missed somebody.
Oh, what?
Glenn Close.
Wait, has she been in a Marvel movie?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're right. She was in Captain Marvel, right? No, Guardians.
There you go.
Oh my god, she's Nova. Oh my
there
god.
You go.
Glenn Close was in Marvel. Oh my god, I forgot about that. Oh, she's probably dead.
Nova Prime?
Yeah, thinking about it, she's probably dead, isn't she? I forgot she was Nova Prime in Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh my god. Holy shit, Steven, good catch. I completely forgot about that, because my brain literally my brain was going, I would love to see Glenn Close in a Marvel movie.
We'll see. Here's another. Yeah.
Let's get that Nova movie going. All right, let's get some more Glenn Close in Marvel.
But yeah, Nova's dead, so.
Well, Nova could, like, the Nova corpse is dead, but like there's still potentially a Nova out there, who was a human and stuff like that. We'll get into that whenever that happens. It's Marvel; they'll eventually do it because they're gonna do every property they have, and
death means nothing in the Marvel multiverse if you think about it.
Well, I mean, well, you know, there's a lot of people talking like, what if Robert Downey Jr. comes back for Iron Man 4? And I'd be like, I don't know if I want that.
I mean, he can't. He's already alive. You know, he knew Peter Parker. Came back through Doctor Strange's magic. He's alive. Damn it.
It came back from the universe where like, it's it's who disappeared on that list? It was let's
What?
go with.
What
I'm
if?
trying to think of some. It was where Bucky gave up his life and did the snap.
I think I know what you're talking about. Maybe.
Like where the other half of the people disappeared instead. Yeah.
And they collide. No. I also just had a random thought. Was like, what if like Andrew Garfield? He made it to Spider-Man's universe because MCU thing. But what if? Oh no, they wouldn't have known. I was about to say, what if Andrew Garfield's parents were brought back to life? But no, they didn't know he was Spider-Man. So.
Well, I mean, in a deleted scene, there was in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. There was a scene where Peter was at Gwen's grave and his dad shows up.
Oh.
Being like, Peter, I'm alive from the plane explosion.
Peter. I don't know why I just thought of Family Guy.
Peter.
Yeah.
Peter.
Yeah.
Hey, Peter. And like, I don't know, like that kind of, yeah, that could have happened. I'm glad it didn't because it was kind of dumb. Anyways, this movie's just kind of fun. Also, like Waddlesworth is, entertaining.
That what I thought was interesting. They use with Waddlesworth, like they decided as well as everyone else, they're like, we need more dialogue in these animal only parts. So they threw in a parrot because they're like, parrots talk. That makes sense. And we'll just dub over everything it says.
Yep. Guess what? That fucking worked like a charm in this movie.
The bad man's car. the widow rabbit's in the bad man's car. No. I mean, it worked. It definitely worked. I felt it was strange at sometimes though. Like, there's a lot of moments in this movie that are kind of strange. I don't like. After all said and done, even though I like the story arc that Alonzo goes on, I don't like Jean-Pierre Lepelt. I feel like,
oh god, no, I don't either.
Yeah.
He's just kind of there.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be in this movie at all. But he helps Alonzo become a better person, so hooray. But Alonzo was already a nice person. He just needed to stand up for himself. But why did he get a story arc? Like, why the hell did this side character that nobody cared about suddenly become such an important character to the story?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
And I do gotta say, at least this time around, because with the last one, 101 Dalmatian, the people were more victims than they were in this movie. Like, because Ian, Lone, I don't know, Eon, yeah, Eon, and Alice, like, so Chloe and Kevin, they definitely like tried and went out and did things to try and help, which felt nicer, I guess. They weren't just sitting at home waiting for the dogs to come back on their own.
Yeah. They were engaged in the plot.
Yes, exactly. Especially when you have such great stars like Glenn Close and Ian. Close.
Yeah. Definitely, because like they were it made it better. So, and also side note, I'm doing this list and I've got the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
After that, these movies are garbage to me. They are either so middle of the road that I don't really care,
Mm-hmm.
or just piss me off to a scale that I'm like, why? Why do you exist? Fuck. There are going to be 17 of them, by the way, and then 19 when I watch the other 2.
Okay. Yeah, just throw down everything you want to throw down, and we'll figure it out from there.
It's the second longest list by default now, by the way.
I mean, both of those lists are owned by Disney, though, so...
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, makes me sad sometimes.
The The third longest is video games, and then 4 comes Star Wars, and then DC, and then Fast.
I have to double check something. I could have sworn we've also added in the side stories for Star Wars, right? Yeah, that's why. Okay. I was like, how?
Yes.
I thought Fast and Furious would have had more than 9 movies. It had, yeah.
It has 10. It has 10 movies, but Star Wars has 13 because we
Yeah.
did the holiday special. 12 if we don't count that.
Yeah.
Put us at the bottom list of whatever. And then like DC's at 11 currently. And Fast is at 10. The Bond movies were at 5. And it's just the Daniel Craig list, but I feel like we can expand that at some point. If we want to, and video games are at 15 or 14. And Disney would if the way we're doing it, we'll have 19 for the movies we've done, and then another add 5 for Pirates movies. That puts it at 24. And then whatever happens next. So we have 2 movies guaranteed the next 2 years. So 27 movies potentially on that list. Nothing's keeping up with Marvel, and I'm okay with that.
I had a weird thought, but we could talk about that later since it's a little off topic. But since Disney owns our souls, but I was like, what company? Yeah. If it wasn't Disney, what company would we trust with Marvel movies?
That's actually a really good question for maybe the after we do Cruella.
Yeah.
I'm down to talk about that because I don't know.
I think that through, but right now, back onto 102 Dalmatians.
Yes.
Like, there's one thing that I think that I enjoyed, which is just a dumb little thing. I loved like the counterintuitiveness of Cruella DeVille, her therapist or her doctor, her shock therapist was Dr. Pavlov.
Yes, that was funny.
Mm-hmm. And then ultimately it was a bell that undid it all. Like Pavlov, backward. I enjoyed that, though. I, you know, one of those stupid things.
What?
I was dumb when I watched this movie because it never occurred to me until this watch through that these aren't the original dogs. Like, it didn't.
One of them is.
One of them, yes, the male dog, Dipstick.
I'm gonna guess the other one is also one of the originals. The female dog, is probably one of the originals. But not one of like Roger and Anita's.
Anita, yes.
Their dogs.
Yeah, not one of their dogs.
Original dogs. One of the original 15 pups.
Because that'd be weird to like have, you know, 2 dogs from the same batch.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing this is another one from that
maybe
like from the 101 batch.
The only one that they talk to about it is Dipstick, and Dipstick doesn't like it. But it didn't, like, this whole time I was like, because I remember thinking that this was just a continuation of the first movie where like Roger and Anita, or whatever her name was, Anita, were living together on whatever ranch or whatever. And I was like, okay, yeah, totally. And then no, I was like, wait, no, they're different characters. Okay, that's totally fine. They're completely different dogs. Okay, also totally fine. Don't know why I didn't realize that sooner.
Yeah, I couldn't remember until like we kind of got into the movie, and I was like, "Oh, right, that's how this all worked out." Duh.
My favorite comedy scene has got to be Cruella's transformation as she turns back, because she's like werewolves out, and it's freaking great.
Her outfit literally starts to change.
Yes, the shoulder pads is what gets me every time. Just die a little bit every time.
It's pretty good. Like it's genuine. Like this movie's funny. Okay, like, and I love that this movie uses the diggy diggy dog throughout it.
Yeah, the entire movie
unabashedly, but every time it comes up, it just kind of works because it's just dogs doing dog shit,
Mhm.
and then Atomic Dog starts playing, and you're like, this just works. I don't know what about it does. It just works. Cool.
Dog, dog,
Diggy diggy dog, diggy diggy dog, diggy diggy dog, diggy diggy dog. Like, dude, if I had remembered that that was this song in this movie, last week I would have outroed a completely different way. You know that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I would have done Diggy Diggy Dog as the outro last week instead of Cruella DeVille, because like that song is so etched into my brain that like the moment it played, I went like I just jetted back. Like it's impressive how well, like, literally I looked it up on Spotify afterwards just to like listen to it again because I was just like, what the fuck happened? Why did we sleep on this? Why do we do like, why does Who Let the Dogs Out like be more something? This is better.
Yeah, this is a much
Atomic
better
Dog
song.
is better by default.
Especially because if you Who Let the Dogs Out is about ugly ladies. Ugh.
Diggy diggy dog. It's just so good. I don't know what it is about it. It's just good.
Type.
Yeah.
And then let's see. I gotta say other things that I enjoyed. I liked the comeuppance at the end of this movie. Like she got dipped in more sweets this time around. That was fun.
That was funny. I
Yeah.
forgot. I remember the cake scene so well.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, when does that happen?
Yeah, like, and I still every time I see, I had that thought when I was younger, and I have it now. I was like, how does she survive this?
She just ducks her head in.
Yeah, just
All
you know,
cooks.
yeah, and the surface is cooked, but she's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Her hair's on fire, but she's fine.
She's fine.
She's fine. She's a little cooked. It's just so good. I'm not gonna lie, I praise this movie because it's funny. Like, I genuinely enjoy it.
It's a fun romp for sure. This was a completely original script. They did whatever the hell they wanted with it, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Like, is it a critical masterpiece? No.
Oh fuck no.
Not at all. But
hey, I'm gonna say this on the list of movies we've watched that are Disney movies based off of properties that they've done. This is up there towards the top.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Like,
easy.
if it's definitely not because I'm nostalgic or anything, but this definitely just gets more points because
It's better than the first one.
yes, definitely better than the first one. However, if you look at the ratings on like IMDb, this has a much lower rating in IMDb.
I don't know how. I don't know how. Like, what did people want from this? This is exactly what you needed to do.
It's definitely its own original story, but I think that's the problem. Is it was its own original story that was silly, and the critics don't like that.
Critics suck. No offense to you.
I mean, I do suck sometimes. Pay me enough. I mean, oh,
Jesus Christ.
I know I sound like a hypocrite a lot of the times, but each movie's different.
I mean, that's fair. Hey, you're allowed to do that occasionally. I won't get on you every time. By the way, I've gotten to the point where I have to start working from the bottom to the top now on the list. That is where we are with these movies.
You're like, I know this one's worse than this one.
Yes, 100%. That is what I'm at. Because I got to 8 on the list and went, I don't know where to put the rest of these, so I'm going to go from the bottom from where we are, which will be 16. Because I forgot there's 3 other movies we need to watch. So we discussed that there's the other Jungle Book from '94. And I need to get my bearings on Beauty and the Beast and the other Jungle Book. So we have 2 Jungle Books to watch. Well, I have 2 Jungle Books to watch. We need to watch the other Jungle Book at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll pair that with something at some point. Maybe we'll pair that with the Pinocchio live action when that comes out this year.
That might work, yeah.
We'll just do that. Hey, guess what? We have that figured out now.
Woo!
Cool.
We got another pairing down.
Easy. Done. Not even a problem. Yeah, dude, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, this movie is just fun, okay? And it's harmless, and it knows it knows what it was. Holy shit, how much shit came out in 2019?
A lot of stuff came out in 2019.
Dude, I just realized how many of these movies came out in 2019. I am on the list and I have 4 on here so far from 2019. And there are
That's
more.
in
What the
2019's when
fuck
the pandemic
happened?
even started.
That's before it started. Like, what the fuck, Disney? Why did we need so many live actions that year? What is wrong with you?
They had to hit it
Oh,
hard, you know.
did they? Some of these aren't even good.
Some of these.
A lot of these.
Though I do got to say, I like your fonts. I like how you made it all flashy and.
Hey, you know me, I like to switch up the font on each one of these. I kind of match it to what I view those like those with
Mhm.
a little bit. So like, you know, it's got to have a nice font to it. So, I'm wondering what you're thinking of the list so far.
Well, I'll let you know later because we still have
Yeah,
one more movie to go through.
that's true. Then I'm going to give you your popcorn for this movie.
At
Steven, at least you're giving it a half point higher, right?
least, at least, because part of me agrees with the critics, so the part of me is just like, I love this movie.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Give it. Do it.
You underestimate my power.
Give in to
Nostalgia.
give in to the nostalgia, Steven. Let the
Man.
nostalgia flow through you.
Fine. With the kid point, say it gets an 8.
Wow.
And a half.
Hell yeah. Okay, because I'm giving it an 8.5. Which puts it at an 8.5 overall. I'm okay with this.
Yay!
That is okay to me.
Mhm. I know it's really. Okay, so last movie today. Let's get in there. Let's start talking about this last one. It's Cruella, which I mean, I do also have to agree a little bit with Monster over there. Disney's been releasing live action remakes for years, since 1996, if not earlier.
1994.
Mhm. So
With the Jungle Book.
yeah, so I'm not surprised, but I feel like 2019.
There were 4 that came out on in theaters in 2019 and 1 that came out on Disney Plus.
With 2019, I think it's because they were trying to fill in Disney Plus. That'd be my best guess.
They didn't even have Disney Plus announced at that point.
Not announced, but they're probably working on it.
The only one that went directly to Disney Plus would have been Lady and the Tramp that year. Because you want to know what came out that year? It was Dumbo, Aladdin, Lion King, and the Maleficent Mistress of Evil. None of those we thoroughly enjoyed.
That's true. That is true. And we went to see all of those that year.
Two of those we kind of hated. One of them, I will say, did spark something beautiful. You know, the
Doesn't work.
let's get ready to. Hold on, where's the? What am I missing on this? What's wrong with this?
You've got not enough bass.
Let's get ready to Dumbo.
That's better. But yeah,
Thank
that
you.
was the dumbest.
Yeah,
Dumbest
it was
fucking
it
thing.
was dumb. It was so dumb. Literally, it was dumb, bro. Um, so I have some problems with that. And then we get here to Cruella, which released May 28th, 2021. We skipped this one. I can't remember why. Um, Hold on. There's an easy way to check though, because I can go to 2021 and go to May. We did Mortal Kombat, Shrek and the Mitchells versus the Machines, The Hunt and Those Who Wish Me Dead, and Interstellar and Tenet. And RoboCop I think I said we should have gotten it done that month, and then we didn't.
Probably. I have no idea. Like, because the only other thing I could think of is it was kind of like the Mulan where you had to pay for it to watch it on Disney Plus. But no, this came out
Yes,
the
and we didn't want to go to theaters for it.
Uh.
That's what it was. I was like, I really don't want to go to theaters for this after seeing what I've seen. I don't want to pay $30 for Disney Plus. That's right. Okay, there was a reason for it.
But hey, I mean, Emma Stone wasn't as bad as I thought she was going to be.
I didn't think she was bad at all in this. As our Marvel connection of the day, because you know, Amazing Spider-Man is canon. But dude, like, I just, what was this movie?
It was a story about nature versus nurture that failed miserably because ultimately our character became worse and we're supposed to like her for it.
Yeah, it's not good, dude. It's not. This movie sucks. Dude, that halfway point where I paused it and went, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. And realizing that I still have so much of this movie to go hurt. That genuinely hurt me. Because I was like, oh, God, this is worse than Mulan. And we didn't really enjoy Mulan.
Oh. And I think the worst part about this whole thing, too, is it's supposed to be like an origin story for Cruella. And this Cruella at the end of this movie isn't anything like the Cruella we see at the beginning of 101 Dalmatians. And I think the thing that ultimately irks me the most is the fact that this whole movie is over a fucking necklace. And then
it's trying to be too many movies at once. It's trying to be Devil Wears Prada. It's trying to be what is it? It's trying to be a like heist movie. It's trying to be a nature versus nurture movie. It's trying to do way too much for its premise while also trying to turn a hated Disney character, rightfully so, because they want to turn Dalmatian puppies into a jacket, into a character who has redeemable parts. Also, there's a scene where a skirt becomes a parachute.
yes. there's a scene where someone gets mauled by dogs. Like, come on.
There's a scene where okay, I have to talk about this because my brain doesn't understand how this was even possible. How do you turn moth eggs into a dress?
Super glue.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but like,
I mean, it was clever, but no,
the
yeah.
moment you start thinking about it, it's like,
wait,
how did A, no one notice? B, how did you do it without any of them breaking?
Mm-hmm. How'd you not kill any of them? Which, I mean, some of them might actually be dead because not all of the eggs were open, but still.
There are so many questions that I have about that one dress. I just don't get it.
I really don't blame you. That one dress is... Once they revealed it, I was like, damn. Why? What? Who? Huh?
Who in their right mind allowed this? Also, not to put a hole in the theory, but there was a decade where there wasn't a Disney live action movie.
What's there?
Yeah, from 2000 Dalmatians, 102 Dalmatians to 2010 Alice in Wonderland.
And then let's look at Disney stock prices from 2000 to 2010 and see when they decided, let's remake the old classics.
I mean, you might be able to track it by that, and you would probably see a spike up as that happened.
Probably.
There was another 4-year gap in between Alice in Wonderland and then Maleficent. And then from there, we're beginning one at least one a year. If not 4 a year. I hate it so much. Like, again, I know people have like superhero fatigue. I don't, because I'm a superhero nerd. Whatever. I'm okay with the superhero movies because they're at least entertaining and they're new takes on stories and they actually do something with the source material. That is different than just remaking it and not doing anything interesting with it, or remaking it poorly. Um, and a lot of these were just remade poorly. Um, so there's that. Um,
I mean, hell, even just this movie, it's supposed to be an original. It's the original concept from a character that everybody loves to hate,
rightfully so.
rightfully so. And now we've made her a character that people are supposed to like because her tragic backstory. But then her tragic backstory is constantly shifting and changing throughout this movie, and the motivations change throughout this movie, and it's 2.5 hours long. It's not really, but still, it's 2 hours.
Fucking feels like
Yeah,
it.
it's 2 hours and 15 minutes long, and my God, it just like Emma Stone is great in this movie, 100%.
Oh yeah, I think she does great in what she's been given.
I
Emma
also,
Stone, like,
yeah, I like, even though I don't like it's I don't like the idea that Emma Stone isn't the baddest bitch because there's a badder bitch, the Baroness. like, I don't entirely like that, but I still liked Emma Thompson's uh delivery, and like she did great as the Baroness. And like
Yeah.
she was definitely channeling a better performance of Glenn Close than I think Emma Stone was.
yeah, 100%. I think she was supposed to, given what they probably told her to do with the character.
Mhm. And then there's the sidekicks, like Jasper. Jasper was the nice guy that I liked. He was okay. Like there's nothing super special about him other than he was a nice kid. Um,
Yeah.
Horace was the comedy relief that I really liked. Only because
Wink.
because what? Wink, yeah. Because of Wink. And I do like his drag queen scene. That was funny for me. I liked John McCree in this movie, but I'm not sure how I feel about his character, I guess. I don't know. Is he too much of a stereotype? Is he not enough of a stereotype? I don't know.
I mean, it was supposed to be the 70s, so it kind of works. But at the same time, it's just like it's Disney doing it.
Mhm.
So there's just something in your head that kind of feels like it's off. Because Disney doesn't really know what they're doing half the time
Mhm.
when it comes to representation. So yeah. Dude, I don't know, man. They really just didn't understand what they were supposed to do here, and the fact that we're getting a sequel kind of pisses me off. Like, why?
I
Why do
get
we need a
that.
sequel to this? Why do we need a sequel to this?
Because she's
what are we
not quite
doing?
Cruella yet. I don't know. But no, I agree with you because this movie, like I
I
think
didn't go over budget, did I? This had $100 million. Opening US made 21, gross US 86, and made worldwide 233 million. Sorry, forgot to do that earlier.
so at least made its budget back. That's why it made its
Oh,
money back.
yeah.
That's why it's getting
Yeah.
a sequel.
The other thing too, I will say as well is one thing, and I literally had to message Steven this during
Mhm.
it. Why did we need so many fucking like covers of songs in this? There's a Michael Bublé song in this
There is.
that's a cover, and I'm like, we're supposed to be the 70s. I'm sorry, when I hear this song, I think of the 2010s
Mhm.
being in jazz bands.
But nope, this is the 70s.
I can't not hear a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life. And not be brought back to jazz band.
No, I agree with you. I do. But your older generation, it turns out, at least in my family, I asked them, "Have you heard of Michael Bublé?" They're like, "Who?"
Oh, old people. What?
My
A lot of
family,
old people know Michael Bublé.
my family doesn't.
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be an old song, but with a modern twist, so it hits both audiences. Maybe old and new, but still. I think if I had to go through this movie, we could have easily dropped the whole childhood thing and just changed this movie. to be if we could have made it almost like last night in Soho, where she was, she was college bound and a graduate and an adult
I
already.
had some weird pulls to that in my head where I was like, this feels like Last Night in Soho a little bit, which I enjoyed, but I don't enjoy this.
Yeah. The things that I enjoyed were mainly like Emma Stone because she was good in his role, sure. And I liked the Baroness character, but nothing really stands out to me, if I'm being honest. Like, additionally, the whole freaking Mark Strong story with his character, like, what?
Just out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why.
I feel like I blanked at the beginning too, by the way, because I don't remember them going over that, like, how she was born, like, that it was that way.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah.
I feel like I missed something.
I kind of agree. Because the whole beginning of the movie, I mean, I agree. I hated the narration in the beginning of this movie too, because the whole exposition dump in the beginning of an intro was something that I was dreading for most of the beginning. Especially when it's like, well, oh, we're starting back here, are we? All the way at the beginning, huh? Well, there I am being born. And now I'm 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because being born is important in this movie. But so they have to let you know right away. That way it doesn't feel like it's out of left field.
Yeah. Dude, this is one of those ones where I'm like, did we need this? No. Does this bring anything to, like, the original story? No. Did I enjoy myself? No. So why did we make it? Why did we make this?
To watch some poorly rendered CG dogs.
Knock a woman off a cliff.
Yes. Maybe to see Emma Stone become a Mockingjay.
I don't know. I don't know at this point, bro.
It's especially too because I don't like the character development, like resolution of the story part there, because freaking she becomes a bad person and she burns all the bridges that she had with her friends.
And then gets redeemed.
Yes. By doing
eyes.
nothing.
By doing nothing. By just asking nicely.
So she's not the Cruella we know from the movie, but we're still supposed to love her because she learned her lesson on how to be a better person while still being a strong, confident woman.
While also being a bad person in some ways.
Yes. Nothing. It was undeserved.
Yeah. This movie was undeserved.
I mean, it kind of was, yeah. But here we are talking about it.
Yep, unfortunately. Which brings me to this point. Points, popcorns, and then list, and then spoilers.
Sure, yeah. Here's your popcorn, Dev.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie.
Is this... So, actually, quick clarification. Does this get the kids' point since it's a PG-13 movie?
This wasn't made for kids, let's be real.
It was made for teens and adults. I guess.
It was made for young adults.
So no kids' point.
No kids' points. This doesn't deserve a kid's points. This doesn't deserve any saving grace. I'm giving this just a solid 4.5. It's below average for me, bro. Like, it's...
Damn.
there's not a lot of redeeming for me here. My volatility is out. I'm sorry.
For me, it's a 5.5. Like,
That's fair. That's fair.
Part of me wants to give it more just because of Emma Stone's performance, but that 0.5 above an average movie, I think that's what Emma Stone gets.
That's fair. Which puts it at a 5 overall. Which brings us to the list. All right. So there are 16 movies on this list so far. I know there will be 2 more once I get my shit together and get the other 2. And then we have another 6 that we'll add with the Jungle Book. Technically another 5 we'll add. No. 7. My brain's broken. We'll add 7 more as it goes on, with Jungle Book and Pinocchio, and then we're doing the Pirates this year at some point. We'll probably do the first 3 and then the other 2 at some point. So, this list is definitely going to have some changes to it once we add the Pirates in there, because those are going to spice up this list quite a bit. I see the original 3 Pirates movies probably being in the top 5 easily on this list.
Maybe. I mean, yeah. I just had to sit here and I was like, wait a second, did we watch that movie? Because I really had no memory of this movie.
Which movie?
Cinderella from 2015.
There was the one that I praised for, adding to it in the right ways while also staying true to the source material. Because it had Rob Stark in it, the actor who plays him.
Playing Prince Charming.
Yeah, and he kind of like they actually have more scenes together and stuff like that, and it kind of makes sense, and there's some growth there. So
it's just I mean I don't disagree with you. It's definitely better, like a good inclusion. Just to me, like unmemorable, I guess, at the moment.
That's fair. That's fair. And I'm gonna read off the pre-list. This isn't the set list.
Yeah, your sketch list here.
This is the sketch list, and certain ones I think will stay where they are. I think the top 2 will stay where they are. Because I feel like we both agree that those are kind of the best so far from just enjoyment standards. But starting from the bottom, at 16 is none other than Dumbo, for easy reasons. It was dumb. It was really dumb and just does nothing. And it has such a great cast with Danny DeVito, Michael Keaton, and you underutilize both of them. How dare you? Then there was The Lion King, which I despised, because it felt like there was no soul that makes Lion King the Lion King. And Steven agrees with me on this, I hope.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, I do like the steps in technology that they took to make this movie.
Sure, it's so cool that they did that.
But it takes out the soul in the character and the fun.
It literally sucks everything life-wise out of everything that makes The Lion King the Lion King.
I mean, who doesn't like singing about their parents dying? I just can't
wait to be king.
Yeah.
Cruella, I'm putting at 14 just because it fucking drags, dude. It's so fresh in my memory that it drags, and then Mulan's also fresh in my memory as just being Mulan and dragging as well. So those 2 are pretty close together. Mistress of Evil, I remember just not really enjoying. It was kind of dumb. And I didn't really enjoy Alice in Wonderland. So that's at 11. 10, Maleficent. 9, Alice Through the Looking Glass. I remember enjoying that more than the other 3. Because it had what's his name? The dude who plays the clock dude. Sacha Baron Cohen in it. And, I mean, he's Sacha Baron Cohen, so he's entertaining. It has its problems, but it's entertaining. The Haunted Mansion makes it in at 8th just because everything else below it is trash.
That's a great way to put it.
That is strictly why it is so high up. It's not a good movie, but everything else below it is trash.
So are you telling me that Haunted Mansion's gonna be our wall, like Battleship?
Our Battleship wall?
Yeah.
Yes. Haunted Mansion is Battleship, and it's not even as good as Battleship. If anything, our Battleship on this list is 102 Dalmatians.
Maybe. There's levels. There's tiers.
It's so stupid, but it's so lovable for its stupidity. Okay. At number 7, I have Aladdin. Just because it's not a bad adaptation, but there is that one Jasmine song that literally pauses the movie to happen, and there are better ways to implement new music. I feel like that was a very fair critique of it. Lady and the Tramp makes it because it's up at 6 because it's enjoyable. And we found it both very charming, and it was very true to it. Number 5, we make it to the top 5. I have 101 Dalmatians from 96, and then 102 at number 4. And then I have Cinderella at 2015, like we talked a little bit about why that one would be up there, because it's a really good adaptation of a source material. It adds to the source material and actually expands it in a way that actually makes sense and is enjoyable. Shocking. Disney can actually do that from time to time. And then you have at number 2 Jungle Cruise, because The Rock is charming as shit. Let's be real. It's an enjoyable movie because I mean like our 3 main stars in that do a really good job, in my opinion. So like they're all enjoyable in that. And then number 1, and I will fight you if you feel like you have to change this.
That one I don't feel like I need to change. Christopher Robin.
Christopher Robin at number
Yeah.
1.
Absolutely.
Easy. Ewan McGregor acting alongside a bunch of stuffed animals was just so fucking charming and lovable.
That was a movie that I definitely teared up in watching. I was like, oh my goodness, I love this.
So I'm up for moving stuff. I perfectly understand if you want to kick Cinderella down lower.
I kind of do.
How low do you want to kick it? I want to keep it above Aladdin.
I'm fine with that, honestly. Because with
Can we keep it above Lady and the Tramp?
That's the debate.
Okay.
Because with Lady and the Tramp,
do the same thing.
Yeah, they basically do the exact same thing. It's just which one did it the remake
Those ones
better.
And 101 Dalmatians all kind of do the same thing of remaking it very true to the source material while also being very good with the sort, like, while also just adding in little things here and there that work for it. So those 3 I'm okay with putting together. Put 102 at number 3, which is hilarious that is our battleship. God damn it.
It's just like right now with Cinderella, I just
don't remember it as much.
Exactly. But I feel like I'm going to have that same problem with Lady and the Tramp here in like a week or so, because with Lady and the Tramp, we just watched it last week. So of course I remember.
That's fair.
So maybe we can put Cinderella above Lady and the Tramp.
Okay, I'm cool with doing that. That is perfectly fine. Do you feel anywhere else on the list that needs to get moved?
Let's see.
You should pull up the list, by the way, just so people see what we're looking at here.
Oh, okay, fine. I'll hit the button. Window with the view. That one. Oop, I just hit a button. Z. There we go. Oh, yeah. Now I can no longer tell. I need to fix that part. The one problem I have is when I have this screen pulled up, I think I can't look at the stream anymore. So I have no idea if I have it on.
No, it's good. You're good. You're good. I see it. I have the stream up, so you're good.
So every time I press that button, I'm like, I hope I hit the right button.
No, you did. You did good. I feel the bottom 4 are solid where they are.
Dumbo, Lion King, Cruella, and Mulan. I almost want to change Cruella and Mulan around.
I could be okay with that, but I need some convincing.
Because
like Mulan might be boring, but Cruella was just long and arduous to get through and didn't have direction to me. But it was more entertaining.
There wasn't a miscellaneous witch that did nothing in the movie except for help the villain. And
actually, that convinced me. I've been convinced about the witch.
Okay.
I feel like these 4 here, the Alice and Maleficent block that we have, I feel is all right. I just didn't know what to do with them because.
I mean, yeah, because these 4 here, I kind of agree with you. The one that sticks out in my mind is Maleficent. Like, I don't remember what happened in the original Maleficent either. I barely remember what happened in Maleficent.
She has her wings taken, and then she gets her wings at the end. And she saves Sleeping Beauty.
And then Mistress of Evil, she becomes a dragon and saves Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, that was weird, and I didn't enjoy that.
Yeah. Like, I don't remember her losing her wings at all. I just...
By the way, look at 2019. It is 3 out of the bottom 5.
Yeah.
Like,
and then there's one in the top 10.
2 in the top 10. Aladdin and Lady and the Tramp.
Oh. I mean, we could... I almost just want to switch Alice and Maleficent. These 2.
I'm okay with doing that.
Okay. Just because I remember more of Alice in Wonderland.
I have no like
offense.
Yeah, I have no like contest for that. Like
Okay.
that block literally was me going like kind of from memory, and I just know I enjoyed Through the Looking Glass more than Alice in Wonderland, and
Hmm.
which means I probably enjoyed it more than both the Maleficent. Since
Like the
and I
only
just
reason to enjoy, for me, the only reason to enjoy Maleficent is freaking what's her name?
Angelina Jolie.
Exactly. Nothing else
I feel
stands
this
out.
is a good list.
Think so.
We'll see where Beauty and the Beast and Jungle Book and the the Pinocchio movie and the Pirates of the Caribbean pentology.
I can't wait to see the inside of a whale in the Pinocchio remake.
That's gonna be fucking weird. We'll see where the rest end up. Maybe I'll have the Beauty and the Beast and the other one done next week. We'll see.
We'll see.
Um, we'll see where those end up on this godforsaken. This is the godforsaken list, by the way. Like I thought the like video game and the DC list were gonna be ones that I hate, like have the most hatred in. There's something about this list that like burns looking at.
I mean, I'm looking at the video game list here too. That's right next to it, and I'm like, that was a shitty movie. 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 That was like. I mean, you're not wrong. Like with the Disney stuff too, because these should be. Disney is like the most well-known production company of animations and movies of all time. So these should be like best sellers, easy. But this is Disney being like, they can't fire me. I'm the most needed employee. Here you go.
Yeah, like my thing about it too is I'm gonna look at it from a ratio standpoint as well. There are 6 out of 16 movies on this list that I do thoroughly enjoy. Like I find enjoyment in on the Disney list. There are 7 out of 14 on the video game list that I will enjoy.
Ratios, yeah, that's better ratio.
That's a 50%. I have 50% odds of just picking a random movie on this list and enjoying things, while I have a 6 out of 16, which is what a
almost a 33.
Yeah, that's divided by 2. That's a 3 out of 8 chance of finding a movie I enjoy. That's less than 50%. And sure, on like the DC list, like it's a 4 out of 11, which is also less than half, but still like well, actually, Man of Steel's higher than Aquaman on that list. I don't enjoy Man of Steel, but I enjoy Aquaman, so there's a 5 out of 11. Technically, but I can sit through Man of Steel and not hate it. I just hate parts of it and why it exists. But I can enjoy its like what it is. Star Wars is like I have a really high chance of just being like I can watch the bad ones and enjoy myself.
Except for
Marvel is literally like 30 odd movies that I enjoy, with like now 3 ones that I'm like I'd like there are 2 movies that I would avoid like the plague. 1 movie that I will watch out of just like making fun of it, Hi Spider-Man 3, and then everything else is a meh to a fuck yeah, I'm here.
How long until we add in the Fantastic Four?
God, I can't wait. If we added Fantastic Four, Daredevil, Punisher movies, like, dude,
I
depending
think
on how the multiverse works, like, I can't wait for that.
interesting. So I think
That list will get funny.
yes, it'd be ridiculous. So I think what I would love to see the most is that they go back to like the original Fantastic Four. So they have Chris Evans back as the Human Torch, and they get Ian Griffin as the Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah. And they
get Alba as the Invisible Woman.
Yeah, like they bring back them for sure, and just ignore Fan Four Stick.
Oh fucking yeah, we need to ignore that. Make fun of that in Deadpool.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
So it's canon, but it's being mocked.
Is it canon if it's breaking the fourth wall?
Yeah, now I think with the multiverse existing, I think now breaking the fourth wall kind of counts as canon.
But yeah, but with the
Would that
multiverse
mean once
exists,
Deadpool enters the multiverse, does that mean Green Lantern is technically in the
All right, we're going too far. Let's narrow our focus. We've gone too far.
Back on the list thing, but like, yeah, no, the Disney list just sucks. Like, you have
Oh,
a 3 in 8 chance of picking something that is actually enjoyable. And then everything else is either just so middle of the road you don't care, and then or just bad and not enjoyable.
okay. We got one more thing to talk about Monster before we could start talking about the Disney studio thing, and that's spoilers.
Let's get ready to
So, when are you gonna get your other computer fixed? Just curious.
Whenever I leave the house.
I see.
Yeah. Probably this weekend I'll go see if I can get it looked at and see what's going on with that.
All right. So the only thing,
yeah,
in this
there's not
movie-
gonna be a lot of spoiler talk.
no, I want to talk about just how this story goes, which it's basically, basically, it starts with Cruella being born, and then it jumps to her being kicked out of school, and that takes a lot more time than I thought it would. I think that's 10 to 20 minutes of the beginning of the movie is just her getting kicked out of school, and then her mom being killed from random circumstances that she thinks, because she's being chased by a dog in a fashion show, or three dogs in a fashion show, and then suddenly they veer off of her and onto her mom and push her off a cliff. Then Cruella runs away to London, and then 10 years pass, and now suddenly Cruella is working for the Baroness, which then she happens upon finding out that the Baroness has the necklace that her mom gave her right before she was jumped off a cliff. And that's where the whole story begins. So we're 40 minutes into the movie, and now the movie starts. And then the movie develops. We find out that the Baroness not only killed her mother instead of Cruella killing her mother, we then find out that the Baroness is her mother. And then we also find out that the Baroness tried to get Cruella killed before she was even to this point. So it's like, oh my goodness, we got to do this thing. And then because Cruella is the daughter of the Baroness, she could now own the entire property of the Baroness because she's the true heir to the Baron. And because the Baroness killed Estella, which I don't think that's her real name. At least that shouldn't be the name on the birth certificate. At least that would be my thought. But whatever. Now Estella's dead, but Cruella de Vil, who doesn't have a birth certificate, is alive and gets all of the fund and the money from the Baron's estate, even though technically the Baroness owns that and she's just in jail. So I doubt she's had all of her money and property stripped from her.
Well, because it technically goes to the heir. And then the heir died, which wrote in her will that everything she owns goes to Cruella. Legal jargon.
Yeah.
Legal jargon.
And none of this would have worked out if it wasn't for a butler.
Valet.
Yeah, I was trying to make a Clue reference, like the butler with a dagger in the ballroom, but I couldn't get there.
The valet with an earpiece in the courtyard.
There you go. Gonna be an interesting, and it's a good thing that it's a valet with a heart of gold, because it wasn't for him, the movie never would have happened.
What the fuck with this?
And
Disney,
then
just stop, Disney.
yeah,
You're
and
not
then
doing well.
And then to add more, I guess it's the whole like she's Estella. She's been a nice person for however many she's 20, I think, at this point in time. I'm assuming. I don't know.
Some shit like that.
Yeah. So she's been a decent person for 20 years of her life. Now she decides that she wants to be a total and utter bitch.
Steven, you're convincing me more to flip the Mulan and Cruella as we talk about this.
I still think Mulan's more boring. And it's just Emma
That's
Stone is
fair.
what rips this up for me, I guess.
That's fair. God damn it. Why are these so bad? Why are these so bad? These are like easy concepts. Like Cruella was one that should not have been done. Okay. Like we could say that from the get-go. Cruella's not a movie that should have existed.
Mm-hmm. Especially because they're just trying to hang off the coattails of like the Joker. And that was a very divisive movie altogether.
Yeah, we know my opinions on that one.
Yep.
Don't make me sympathize with the guy who shot Barbara.
I got nothing else really. It's dumb. Thank goodness that necklace turned out to actually be a key for everything that we needed.
Yeah, and they ended up getting it somehow.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Because they kidnapped the dogs, and the dogs had it because they're smart enough to know that the Baroness specifically wanted that necklace, but not smart enough to know not to run into each other and cause another dog to eat the necklace. And with all of the time spent with those dogs, how did none of them realize that Genghis is a woman? And now, because we find out Genghis is a woman, we find out that 101 Dalmatians, when it happens, is an ancestral puppy story because Cruella gave Roger and Stella the puppies.
Oh! Oh!
You didn't realize that, did you? That's why I brought it up when I was like, when the puppies together from the same batch is a bad thing. Like, yeah. Anita, I think was the name. So Anita got Purdy, or whatever the dog's name, and then Roger got Pongo, and they're going to meet up later in life because they love each other. Are you going to switch it? Are you going to swap Milan and Cruella again? Because of the post-credit scene.
Yeah, I am.
You are? Yeah. Okay. I understand. As with that one, I kind of understand. Because now
that fucks with so much. Oh, I know that happens in like actual dog breeding stuff. Okay.
Yes.
And it's fucked. It's horrible. So it doesn't make it okay. Fuck, dude. Oh.
Yeah. I wonder how that's what Cruella 2 is going to be. Because we need to figure out how Anita starts working for Cruella, how Cruella gets her own company. And then from there, Anita and Roger will start 101 Dalmatians. Make sense? No, but whatever.
I fucking hate it here.
All right, and I'm done with spoilers unless there's anything else you want to talk about.
I'm good. I'm fucking good.
Okay, let's move on to the news and wrap up. Boop 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 boop. We're in the news.
It's my heart.
I was about to say that was your heart flatlining.
Okay, some news that I have. Moon Knight trailer dropped. With fuck, I'm blanking on his name. Oscar Isaac. As our titular character. And dude, they used Kid Cudi's Day and Night for the trailer.
Okay.
And it's so good. I'm a sucker for that song. Okay, I'm straight up gonna admit that. Like, because that song was in what is it? Midnight Club, Los Angeles. And I love Midnight Club. It's such a fun racing game. And that song is just on the radio in the game, and I would just jam out to it as I'm driving around in my car. And like, it's a remix of it, so it doesn't do the full song and stuff like that. It changes it, but it's just like it only really uses the one line from it, like over and over here and there. But it does the day and night, and then it'll like do its own music and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, it's just like day and night. And I'm like, oh, chills! I love it. and it looks really good. It looks dark and gritty. And it's like, yes, we haven't had Marvel do a dark, gritty thing, and Moon Knight is the perfect dark and gritty thing.
Mhm.
Like the fact we're getting fucking Moon Knight, dude.
Was
Like
it-
a
isn't-
fucking nobody character if you don't know Marvel.
I was about to say, isn't Moon like the only thing I know about Moon Knight is he's crazy?
Kind of, yeah. He's got a multi personality disorder on top of having an Egyptian god inside of him. So like he's got a lot of shit that fucks with him. Also, he will fight Dracula to get his money back because he's loaned Dracula money before. One of the most common comic book panels you will see involving Moon Knight is, "Where the fuck are you, Dracula? Where's my money?" See that? And then there's also another funny one where he calls the Avengers and he's like, "Where's Dracula?" And they're like, "Dude, Dracula doesn't work with us. He's not an Avenger." That lying son of a bitch. Like,
Okay.
but the other thing about it is that this Moon Knight directly will tie into Midnight Suns, is how we can look at it. That thing that I was talking about where Blade and Dark Knight will enter. There's rumors that Daredevil will be a part of this. And then we're also getting a Halloween special for the Werewolf by Night or by Moon Knight. I can't remember exactly what the comic. It's a werewolf comic that Marvel does. That's also part of it. He's the werewolf of the group. So you have Moon Knight the Mummy, you have Blade the Vampire, you have Werewolf by Night the werewolf, and then you have the Black Knight in it.
The Monsterverse, I see.
This is the Midnight Suns, or the dark side of Marvel. And I'm so happy that Marvel's not afraid to do this. And it seems like they will probably do it right.
Is it really going to be a gritty reality?
I'm fine with it being gritty, dude. I'm so fucking pumped for this.
I mean, if it is, I'd be excited for that because it'd be different. It's something that Marvel hasn't done.
You should watch the trailer and get a feel for it real quick.
It's TV, right?
Yeah, it's TV.
I'll probably watch it then.
Yeah, watch the trailer and let me know what you think. Because I'm curious what your thoughts on it, because it does look like it's going to be darker than what Marvel has normally done.
Okay.
Which is perfect with us going to Multiverse of Madness, which will be a little bit darker, and the fact that we're gonna get a Blade movie. This is Marvel maybe tapping into a little bit more dark material and maybe push dude, if we get an R-rated Marvel movie, you know how fucking cool that would be.
Cool.
Like before Marvel Studios did anything, we had Logan and Daredevil, or not Deadpool, which are both really different R-rated movies, but all really good R-rated movies.
Mm-hmm. For me, just because I'm that kind of person, I prefer Logan over Deadpool.
I mean, Logan's a masterpiece and would be contention for top 5 in our list if X-Men joined the multiverse. Like, I could see that being number 5, maybe number 4, beating out it would beat out Shang-Chi. Maybe beat out. I could see it beating Shang-Chi.
But I've been thinking about Shang-Chi again, actually, because I really enjoyed that movie. But the where it starts and where it ends are two completely different movies.
Oh, 100%. But I mean, it's the best origin movie we've got.
Not wrong.
Outside of No Way Home, which is now an origin movie. In a cool sense.
In a way. In its own way.
But yeah, the Moon Knight trail looks so fucking good. Like, if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's so fucking cool. It looks so fucking interesting. And it's hitting all the beats that I wanted to hit. So
there's that. There was the trailer for the Lord of the Rings that dropped today.
Yeah, where it just does the 3 rings for elves, the 7 for the, it was a 5 or 7 for dwarves. 7? And then 9 for men?
Yes.
Or was it 7 for men?
3, 9 for the men.
Okay.
I think it was 7 for the dwarves.
Okay. and then one ring to rule them all.
Yes. Find them.
So it'll be, from what me and Steven talked about beforehand, it's going to be part of the second age. So that'll be interesting.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, no, that'll be fun. Hopefully, I'm glad they're not just going to do Lord of the Rings again.
Mm-hmm. We don't need that. Lord of the Rings was good as it was.
Yes,
and they tried that with The Hobbit, and that didn't really work. So.
We know my thoughts on that. That was a hard fucking week. Yeah, dude, like I'm looking forward to some of the shows we're getting. There's a new pirate show that looks like it's coming out on HBO Max. I saw a trailer for where it's like kind of goofy pirates in a sense. It's kind of comedy, but it's interesting. It also has the guy from Cruella, Joel Fry, who played Jasper.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of the bard of the ship, it looks like.
Yeah, that seems like it'll be fun then.
Yeah.
The only thing that I haven't, there's not really much else things that I've been looking forward to or like excited about. News or movie or release wise. Even television wise. Like, I know with Star Trek, like that's the thing that I enjoy watching. They're gonna have a bunch of shows starting up again here pretty soon. But even then, I'm like, not really super excited. We're in the middle of watching the Book of Boba Fett. I'm like, personally, I'm not really stoked on it.
That's fair.
Like, the second episode was great. The first and the third were okay. And then, like, even just going through, like, other news about things going on in the world of movies and TV, it's like nothing really catches my attention. The only thing that, like, pops up here that I think is kind of interesting is Roku. The company Roku is going to be making their first ever movie. And it's going to be a biopic about Weird Al, where Daniel Radcliffe is playing Weird Al.
Oh, that's going to be Roku making that?
Yeah.
Weird. Okay.
I kind of agree with that. It's like, what?
All right, Roku, let's see what you got, I guess. Fuck it.
They're trying. They're going to do their first movie ever. We'll see how it goes. So that's kind of interesting. Oh, here we go. Here's something. Spike Lee is to be honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Deserved.
Absolutely. Well, that's basically it.
Dude, I'm looking at this list and just seeing that I have to watch another fucking 9 Disney movies to finish out the fucking list. And I know I'm only really going to thoroughly enjoy 3 of those, guaranteed. With the original Pirates.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not going to enjoy the other 2.
Well, you might enjoy next week's movies.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe. We made a small change to next week's movies just because. So next week we're doing Scream, the original movie, and then we're going to do Scream 4 and Scream 5. We were originally only going to do Scream and Scream 5, but then I found out Scream 5 is a continuation from the story from Scream 4. So, even though it's supposed to be a reboot at the same time, so...
Is it a reboot?
That's what I read online.
I don't think it's supposed to be, though. Unless it's like rebooting in the sense that it's starting the franchise again.
That's what I think.
Okay. I don't really consider that a reboot. That's just a, like... revival? Would that be a better word for it? Do we have to add another R to that list? The sequels, reboots, rebootquels, prequels, and revivals? Is that what we're doing now?
I guess. Because I looked it up again here.
Soft reboot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a soft reboot, really, because it's not like it says it's not being considered a reboot, but it's trying to restart the story.
Yeah, I would consider that a revival.
But it's the first Scream movie not directed by Wes Craven, so We'll see how that goes.
I think it's directed by the person who did Ready or Not, right?
The new one, Scream 20,
Yeah.
Scream 5.
That hide and seek one that we enjoyed.
I think maybe.
That was a good one. That was a good movie.
Directed by Matt Bettinelli, Uphill and which has done Ready or Not. Yeah.
Sweet, cool. I mean, it's in good hands. Like he has a good understanding of what to do with these kind of movies. So
Yeah. Oh, so both of these directors that are working on it did Ready or Not together.
then it's in good enough hands, I think, hopefully.
I think so. I don't know, because Ready or Not sits in a weird spot for me. Like it's a comedy movie, it's a horror movie, and then it just goes way overboard. But that's the best part about the movie is the overboard ending. It's like,
but also Scream kind of does the same thing.
No, it does, yeah.
Scream is that it makes fun of the genre. Like it is commentary on the genre.
It's funny because Scream
also being arguably some of the best of the genre.
That's exactly it, because that's something that my film studies referenced a lot. Was Scream is a parody of a horror movie, and then it was such a good movie that there was a parody of a parody movie, and it became Scary Movie. Like,
and unfortunately, people think of Scary Movie more than they do Scream sometimes.
Yeah, which is so
included.
Yeah, I think of Scream, especially because of freaking Matthew Lillard.
Oh yeah, Matthew Lillard's fantastic. Let's be real. Oh god, we get to see Matthew Lillard! Yay!
Such a wholesome man. Yeah.
The only good thing in the Scooby-Doo movies did casting him as Shaggy. Like Zoink Scoobs.
I mean, there's a good couple of things from those movies, but whatever.
I mean, yeah, the cast is very solid. I will give you that. Everyone does a pretty good job in those.
So yeah, you're not. Thank you, Hype.
Yeah, no problem. I know you do have a soft spot for it. I'll try not to rail it too hard. They're just annoying.
They're perfectly camp. I was about to say.
Okay, so yeah, let's answer that question. Who would be trusted with the Marvel movies if not Disney? I don't know. Universal maybe. I wouldn't trust HBO or Warner Brothers. Yeah. Sony would be a 50-50 because like sometimes Sony does really, really good. Sometimes Sony does really, really bad. If Fox still existed in its premise, again, maybe 50-50. Like that's another one of those ones that's like it's so hit or miss with the X-Men franchise.
Right now, the only ones that I could think that could maybe do it would be Universal or Paramount.
Yeah, Paramount would be interesting. No, actually, Paramount was a part of the original movies, if I remember correctly. Hold on, let me grab the Blu-rays because I think it has the Paramount logo on there.
Okay,
if I remember correctly.
From like Iron Man and
yeah.
Okay, I mean, why not? I was gonna say with Sony, I don't think it's a bad idea. Like they own the properties and they were one of the initial boosts to starting off freaking the superhero genre. What? You said things and we couldn't hear it.
Paramount is on the thing.
Oh, it is? Huh.
Trying to figure out.
A little louder, one more time.
I'm trying to figure out when they stopped.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
we figure out when they stopped being on there. There we go. I can see the green.
Yeah. I mean, we could just type that into Google. Paramount.
Dark World. Dark World is when they stopped being a part of it. So they got all the way through Iron Man 3 being kind of a part of it.
Okay. Yeah, because like Disney does great because I think they focused all of their attention into the Marvel movie. Like they have their best people working in Marvel. And then they
as it should be.
Yeah, and then they followed that with probably people working in the Disney department, and then they have the Star Wars and Fox departments after that. Um, yeah, like for me, I think the only one that I would trust would probably be Paramount, because the only other studios, like, definitely don't trust Warner. Columbia Pictures,
That's Sony.
yeah, so no, don't want to do Sony because they're very hit or miss. MGM, I don't know, probably not.
Yeah, Paramount would actually make sense.
So let's get Paramount to buy Disney, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and go from there, I guess.
Yeah, if anyone picked it up outside of Disney, like I feel like Paramount could potentially do it, but like that's such a huge acquisition at this point now.
Yeah,
'Cause
everybody.
Marvel is so expensive. Marvel could literally just break off and do its own thing.
Absolutely, which I kind of think they should. Honestly, they should become Marvel Studios and just leave it at it, because they
Yeah.
have so much that they do that them being affiliated with Disney at this point is probably hurting Marvel. And it'd be nice to have a break off, like Kevin Feige becoming the executive head director and CEO of Marvel Studios.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fucking cool. God damn it. God damn you, Disney. Why do you have to own everything? Because I can.
Which Bob is in charge of Disney right now?
I don't know. You act like I keep track of that.
Yeah. Wrong
The
person.
mouse is in control of it all at all points.
Disney CEO. Because it used to be like Robert Iger and stuff, but like there was a Bob before Bob Chapek. Either way, I don't like Bob, this new CEO, Bob Chapek. And I didn't like the other CEO before him either, but still, this guy is a lot more greedy.
It's because they're in charge of the House of Mouse. Like, they have to be. The House of Mouse is nothing but greed.
Oh, it's Bob Iger. It's
Yeah.
Robert, but he calls himself Bob. That's why I was getting confused. Okay. The mouse owns all.
Yeah, it does.
Well, with that sad, depressing note, is there anything else we want to talk about?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Anything else in the chat that we want to talk about? Anything at all? Last Bueller? No. This is your last chance, Monster. And I know there's a stream delay. That's why I keep talking.
That's fair. Hey, I know. I get what you're doing.
Because, yeah, I haven't really got anything else other than next week. And then, I mean, we've already talked about next week. So that would be.
Yeah.
Oh. And a good show it was.
Yeah. All the things.
That's not a question.
Intervention. Come on. Fuck off. I enjoy it. Okay.
He plays a lot of GTA, yes. But he's having fun, and that's what matters.
Also, I came in second place in a race. Like, fuck you guys. I actually am a good driver when there are 8 racers left instead of the 34 we had in the first race, and I got fucking pitted every 6 seconds. Dude, I was literally getting spun circles because I was getting fucking pitted all the time during the first 2 races. And then the other ones, like, I came in probably like 7th on the second to last race. Some people left. And the last race, it was me and Scar. Actually, so I have officially met Dave as Rick, so we know each other now.
Well, is Dave his criminal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and Dave have met, and now I'm not an awful driver. Part of the problem is I'm an aggressive driver as Rick.
It's circumstantial.
I mean,
it's literally every time someone's like, I don't know, Rick's behind the wheel, and then 10 minutes later you've crashed and the vehicles don't work anymore.
Sometimes I will fully admit I get way too, like, I'm aggressive on that road. I will fully admit that. Like, I am so American on the road.
Dude, I laughed so hard with that truck that had NOS. And it killed 3 out of the 4 of you in the car.
Rick's just in the back and like gets out.
Yeah, and all the others are dead on the street, like, ugh.
Joel is not a better driver. Get the fuck out of here. I beat Joel in the races, okay? Straight up. Joel is not a better driver. I did better than him. He wrecked out in the first race, and then I was right behind him throughout the second race, and then he wasn't in the third and fourth. But I'm a better driver than Joel. So, and also he didn't get pitted during the second race. I did. Like, and I was on his tail the entire time until I got pitted. And I caught back up to him. So, yeah, I'm a better driver than Joel. Easy.
Easy peasy. All right, we're done here. Yeah. Before we get back into like hard podcast mode, we're done here.
Yep.
So like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a review. Thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. Thanks for the subscription. It was great. You're awesome. Yeah, that's it. We'll see you next week for some Scream shenanigans. Goodbye.